Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to topic 10.3, sexual reproduction in humans. We are looking at learning outcome C, relate male and female gametes. We are on learning activity in pairs or groups. Learners research and describe verbally and in notes the structure of the male and the female gametes and functions of the parts. The structure of gamete. Item 1. Sperm cell and an ovum. The teacher provides learners with charts, diagrams, models, digital images of a sperm cell, male gamete, and an ovum, female gamete. Here we have our structure of the male sperm gamete, spermatozoa, and here we have the female gamete, which is the human egg, ovum. Tasks. Identify the key structure features of each gamete. Let's start with the male gamete, the sperm cell. The sperm cell is small. It is motile and adapted for swimming. So when you look at our sperm cell here, we are saying it is very small. And it is motile, meaning that it can move. That's why it has the tail. And it is adapted to swimming. It can swim because it has a tail that can move and propel the sperm. It has haploid nucleus, a chromosome, and energy-rich middle piece. So when you look at it, it has got the haploid nucleus. This one in the middle is our haploid nucleus. And it has the energy or the acrosome. The acrosome is this small part in front, filled with enzyme, and then it has a rich middle piece. The rich middle piece is this part here in the middle. We are now looking at the male gamete structure. We want to focus on the structure of the male gamete. It has got the head. The head is the whole of this part here. It has got the acrosome. Acrosome is that smaller part in front here. It is the acrosome. It has got the nucleus. We have the nucleus here in the middle. It has got the mid piece, or what we call the middle piece. The middle piece is this part here that contains the mitochondria. and it has got the mitochondria. Mitochondria, we find them in the middle piece. They are small tubes inside the middle piece. And then it also has a tail, or what we call the flagellum. The flagellum, or our tail, is this part here, the coiled part here. All that one is what we call the tail. That is the male gamete structures. Let's now look at the female gamete, the ovum or the egg cell. So here, the ovum is large, is non-motile. It is rich in the cytoplasm. So when we look at our egg here, it is very large when you look at it compared to the male gamete. And it has got the cytoplasm, the whole of this middle part here. That is a cytoplasm. And that cytoplasm is adapted to nourishment of the younger embryo. So all that one that we have in the cytoplasm here, all inside here, this cytoplasm inside has got nourishment for the young embryo, and it is surrounded by protective layers. It has got very many layers. It has the inner layer. That inner layer is the one that we call zona pellucida. And then it has got an outer layer here, the outer layer which is made up of follicular cells. That one is what we call corona radiata. And all of them are protective layers. Let's now look at the structures of the female gamete. The structures of the female gamete, it has got the cell membrane, or what we refer to the plasma membrane. So the cell membrane is the inner layer that surrounds the cytoplasm, is what we refer to as the cell membrane. And then it has also got a cytoplasm, or what we call the yolk. The cytoplasm is that all part inside here. All that part inside minus the nucleus is what we are referring to as the cytoplasm. And then it has also a nucleus. The nucleus is this middle part here, which is compressed on the sides. That is what we are calling the nucleus. Then it also contains what we call the zona pellucida, and this is a jelly coat. Zona pellucida is this small layer which is surrounding the cytoplasm. That small layer is what we call zona pellucida, and it is a jelly coat. Then it has what we are calling the corona radiata. This is a layer of follicular cells, and those layers are the ones that we have here, the follicular cells, these ones which are surrounding or which are outside of the zona pellucida. Those ones are one we are calling corona radiata, a layer of follicular cells or follicle cells. Now let us look at the male gamete. We want to look at the functions of each part. We want to look at the functions of each part. So we have the part and then the function. The first part on the male gamete is the head. And where is our head? Our head is this one here. And the function of the head, it contains the nucleus with the haploid chromosomes. And our nucleus is the one that is in the middle. This part here is our nucleus, and it is the one that contains haploid chromosomes. Then we have another part, which is the acrosome. The acrosome is this front part here of the sperm. That front part, which is filled with a fluid, is what we call the acrosome. And this one contains enzymes. It contains enzymes that break down the egg membrane during fertilization. So the acrosome here is the one that contains enzymes, which enzymes, when they strike the membrane, they come and strike the membrane here. They allow the chromosome material of the sperm to enter into the cytoplasm of the ova. So it contains enzymes, which enzymes break down the egg membrane during fertilization to allow the chromosome material of the male to enter into the ovum. Another part, we have the nucleus, and the nucleus is this middle part here. That middle part is what we call the nucleus, and its major work, it carries the male genetic materials. So it has got the genetic male material. We shall find them here in the nucleus. Then we have another part which we call the middle piece. The middle piece is this part here of the sperm. That is what we call the middle piece. And this one contains mitochondria, and these ones release energy for movement. So inside the middle piece, in the middle piece here, we are going to find mitochondria, and these ones release energy, which helps to propel the tail so that the sperm can easily move. Then we have another part, which is the mitochondria. The mitochondria, we are going to find them in the middle piece. In the middle, or in the middle piece, there are very many organelles which are called the mitochondria, and those ones are the ones that provide ATP or energy for swimming to the egg. So this energy in the mitochondria, when it is produced, it is given to the tail, and the tail will be propelled, and when it propels, it will force the egg to move from wherever it is so that it goes to the ovum. Then we have another part, which is the tail, or what we call the flagellum. The flagellum is the whole of this part we are seeing here. That is our tail. That one is what we are calling the flagellum, and the flagellum enables movement of the sperm towards the ovum. So it is the one that is going to propel the sperm to move towards the ovum. Now let us look at the female gamete. We want to look at the functions of each part of the female gamete. We have parts and the function. The first part is the nucleus of the female gamete, and our nucleus is this part here. This is the nucleus of the female part, and this one contains the female haploid chromosomes. So the chromosomes in the female gamete are found in the nucleus. Then we have another part, which is the cytoplasm. Our cytoplasm is the whole of this internal area. This internal area minus the nucleus. But all this area here is what we are calling the cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm contains nutrients to nourish the early embryo. So when fertilization has taken place and we form the embryo will get its nourishment from this area here, which we call the cytoplasm. We have another part which we call the zona pellucida. Zona pellucida is this layer here, the layer that surrounds the cytoplasm. That layer is what we call the zona pellucida. And the zona pellucida prevents polyspermy. It prevents the entry of many sperms. So it is going to prevent, when the sperm comes, it will only allow one sperm to enter and prevents the other sperms from entering into the ovum. That is the zona pellucida. This one here, zona pellucida. Then we have another part which we call corona radiata. Now, corona radiata is the one that is made up of these follicle cells that are outside of the zona pellucida. All these cells are what we are calling the corona radiata. Those cells that are in this layer are the ones that we are referring to as corona radiata or follicular cells. And their function is to provide protection and the nourishment of the ovum. Then we have another part, the cell membrane. And the cell membrane is a very small layer which surrounds the cytoplasm inside the zona pellucida. That small layer is what we call the cell membrane, and that one allows only one sperm to fuse and form the zygote. So that is the cell membrane of the ovum. Compare the female and the male gametes and record your findings in a table. So now we want to compare both of them, the male and the female gametes, and we record our findings in a table. So we shall start with the future, the sperm cell, and then the ovum. When it comes to size, the sperm cell is very small, whereas if you look at the ovum, is very large. So the two, you can see that the sperm cell is really very small compared to the ovum. That is in terms of size. When it comes to mobility, you will see that the sperm cell is motile. Why? Because it has got a tail that helps it to move around. But the ovum is non-motile. It does not move. It is having no motility tools. So it is staying in one place. That is the ovum. When it comes to the number produced, the sperm cell, millions are produced daily. Whereas the egg, it releases only one per month. Every month, only one is released. One ovum is released. But when it comes to the sperms, millions are produced daily. Then we come to the cytoplasm. If you look at the cytoplasm of the sperm, it has got a very little cytoplasm. Whereas if you look at that one of the ovum, it has got a large amount of the cytoplasm. It has got very large cytoplasm. If you look at the cytoplasm of the ovum and the cytoplasm of the sperm. Then we have the energy source. The sperm cell, it has got the mitochondria in the middle piece, which is this middle part here. Whereas if you look at the ovum, the energy source is stored food in the cytoplasm. So the energy for the ovum is the stored food in the cytoplasm. Whereas that one for the sperm, it is found in the mitochondria, which are found in the middle piece. Then the outer covering. The outer covering, the sperm has got what we call the acrosome. The acrosome is this part here, the head of the sperm. That is the acrosome. It is the outer covering. Whereas the ovum, it has got layers, the zona pellucida and corona radiata. These two layers, zona pellucida, the one inside, and then you have the corona radiata made up of the follicle cells outside. Those are the covering outer layers. We go to the summary. The sperm cells has a head with haploid nucleus. It has an acrosome with enzymes to penetrate the egg, and it has got the middle piece, which has got mitochondria for movement, and it has also got the tail, and this one is for propulsion. Whereas when you come to the ovum is large with a haploid nucleus. It has got nutrient-rich cytoplasm and protective layers such as the zona pellucida and corona radiata. These structures, they help the gametes to perform their roles in fertilization. Skills demonstrated. There is the observation skill, looking closely at the diagrams and the models. Then there is the research skill, extracting information from the notes and the textbook. We have the recording skill, recording information in the tables and labeled notes. Then there is the discussion skill and communication skills. This is performed during group presentation. And then lastly but not least, scientific comparison and analysis skills. Thank you for participating in topic 10.3, sexual reproduction in humans. We have been looking at learning outcome C, relate male and female gametes. Our learning activity: in pairs or groups, learners research and describe verbally or in notes the structure of male and female gametes and the functions of the parts. Please visit me at Mugabi Joshua Biology on YouTube. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe.